25-minute heats for this opening round, Pete, so surfers are going to have to get busy. And we can take a look at the opening heat here. A lot of Hawaiians.
Well, that first round's going to have a few of them. You know, it's nice to have that first round, that extra round. A lot of the Hawaiian contingent will be in that first round, but also you'll have some international flavor as well. You got Kalani Ball in this one from Australia, and then 3 Hawaiians.
Green jersey. Pete, Elijah surfed a number of amateur and pro junior competitions at this venue, so we'll see what he's got. But first up, it's going to be Finnegan. Thunder's McGill. A couple of nice hits off the backhand. And important, Pete, I think, to just get a score on the board, because look at, we're down to a 20-minute heat right now.
Well, and if you look at Finn McGill and what he's been able to do at such a young age, I mean, he's been capitalizing on the fact that there's been pro junior events. There's a full series there. He put in a full effort. He's going to be competing in the Worlds come in January for that Jeep World Championships. And then you've got the idea of him following the QS in the qualifying series, which has allowed him to surf into the Triple Crown. You know, again, just getting started. A little sticky on that first turn. That's the part of this left that can be kind of tough.
Finn McGill staying busy, taking another look. He wants to back up that 2.83. And the young man now choosing a right-hander. Let's see what he has for us at this ending section. And again, that flatter, deeper water can really catch your rails and give you some bog section. Finn McGill staying busy, taking another look. He wants to back up that 2.83. And the young man now choosing a right-hander. Let's see what he has for us at this ending section. And again, that flatter, deeper water can really catch your rails and give you some bog section.
Yeah, it's going to be challenging these first few heats this morning. You know, again, you look at the conditions of the ocean. There was a lot of kind of west-northwest wind yesterday.
Koa Smith on this left-hander. He's looking right at home. On this little reeling left, throws the fins, a slow rotation, but goes complete. So likely the highest score so far in this heat. We'll wait for the judge's decisions on last of Finn McGill as well as Koa Smith.
And try and qualify into that top 10. And looking at this wave here, forehand, this wave is going to be a lot easier to surf. You know, because you can get a little quicker into the lip. As soon as that vertical section arises, you're able to get there, you know, a lot quicker than you can with your backhand. And then this, the innovation and progression, he has been able to throw that tail around easily, spins it, complete reverse, nice completed final move. It's going to be the best wave of the heat.
And a replay of Finn McGill on this right-hander, Pete.
So the right-hander, we'll see that wave get a little more vertical as the day progresses. We'll get a little more size out of it. But I like what Finn's doing here is, you know, he's staying busy because he got that first wave. He drops to the bottom of the priority ladder so he can kind of start moving and catching waves that are not necessarily going to be high scoring potential, but build off of his first wave. Moved actually to a place they call Peaks, which is just to the east of the main break here. Kind of surfing by himself on a little different zone of Haleiwa.
Yeah, we'll see 2 peaks throughout the day at this size Haleiwa as we're looking at Elijah Gates on his opening ride. The young man from Kapolei.
Well, everyone's in the mix now. Kalani Ball is going to have an okay score. Elijah's going to be right there in the mix. You know, Koa Smith's first wave. You know, I feel like that's still kind of the benchmark.
Well, I thought going into this heat, this was going to be an advantage for Koa Smith, these little lefts, and he's proven, you know, that feeling right with that 4.5. He's looking the loosest out of all the competitors, but let's take a look at Elijah.
So Elijah, again, on the backhand, which is the back to the wave. It's a little bit different style and approach. You can go a little bit more vertical if you need to, being that you kind of use that heel edge. It allows you to go up, straight up with that surfboard. That shows that degree of difficulty being another job besides professional surfing, which is great. I mean, if he can, you know, plus it's keeping him fit, so he's able to do that, plus make a little extra cash on the side.
Oh, and with not a ton of waves coming through in this opening heat, Pete, Finn McGill just pretty much blew an opportunity.
What they've been showing us right away is that if you can show some flow, the judges are going to reward that. And, you know, this is why this heat kind of, you get to see what the judges are looking at, what they want to see. You know, so the fact that, even though Koa Smith, in my opinion, his turns were a little bit more spontaneous, the fact that he had to chase those maneuvers down by getting speed under his board and taking that delayed time to get to those maneuvers, that's affected the score. So you want to see flow.
they don't want to see any in between the moves. They want to see back-to-back moves. We'll take a look at Finn McGill here, and just looking a little too far down the line.
You get a little ahead of yourself sometimes.
Ended up with a 1-point ride. Kalani ball. So this is some downtime in between maneuvers. Able to get a little spicy on the end there, and just making sure that he rides out to show that that was a completion, but that wave didn't have a lot of underneath it.
To really capitalize on, because this is the only west-northwest direction we're going to see the entire waiting period, according to Surfline in the forecast maps.
So we see Finn McGill, live action. This is a lot better for the North Shore youngster. Trying to get through that flat spot. It's a really push and force through a turn. He wants to finish this, as he does. So great wave, well put together for Finn McGill.
Every time, not chasing anything down. See the rhythm there. One snap, straight to bottom turn, second snap. This wave did have a little section, so you could be able to show the variety there with the two floats. And then this wave kept giving.
Kalani ball going right. Throws it up. Finishes the rotation there, so showing a little progression.
Put himself in perfect position. Let's take a look at Kalani ball here, as he's got one of those first rights we have seen, at least off the main peak. So only one maneuver. He picks up a lot of speed, but it's a pretty good maneuver. Very similar to what we saw from Koa Smith, but this one had some amplitude. To see the board gets above the lip, the tail gets chucked out, it almost goes up around his head. You get that tail being the highest part of the maneuver. That's really where you start to see the scores go high.
Live action with Koa Smith here. Throws the tail in a layback. Can he pull himself out of that limbo position? And the answer is no for Koa Smith. Trying to be dynamic right there. He waited a long time with priority. Right behind him, Elijah Gates. Nice little couple stabs to start off with. And Elijah just looking loose out there. He
is looking really good, and that there's a point of difference, and that's where that speed part comes in. It's the transitions between the maneuvers, and if you look loose and it looked like effortless and also very quick in those transitions, it's going to translate into better scores. So I think this is going to be another good number for Elijah Gates. Take a look at this again, but just watch the springiness that he has. And that's where I think you're talking about the fact that he grew up at a place that has some softer waves. You kind of tune in your equipment for it, and he knows what kind of board he's going to want to ride that's going to give him that kind of ability.
Koa Smith on the replay.
So Koa Smith chasing it with some speed, and this one waited a long time and knew he had to be very dynamic, so he kind of unleashes on that final maneuver, but the mistake made.
Little tapered wall, hoping for it to stand up. Just relinquished to a couple of backhand cutbacks. So that taper on that wave may affect the score, but it's going to do better than his previous wave. Kalani ball right behind him. And Kalani.
Now a little zip. You see that? Again, the point of difference where you can have that little extra zest and zip in your surfing. It's just that little extra showcase of speed and quickness.
Look at the replay again of Koa Smith.
Well, it's interesting because Finn McGill was outside. I think Kalani was also out there, and they passed up on this wave. So knowing that it was going to kind of push out into that deeper water, it wasn't going to have the vertical face on it, but knowing how important it is to have two good waves, Koa Smith pulls the trigger, and then this is that zip out of the lip. That's where you have the little vertical face. He's able to get two moves in.
And live action with Finn McGill. We'll catch back up to what happened at the beginning of that wave. Not much at the end. Previous score for Finn McGill, however, came in at 5.1 on that left. So Finn is in third place. Just got to get another 5.1 out there. Here we go. Here's a replay of the beginning.
So Finn seeing the one section here, but gets caught behind. The wave shuts down. So with that priority, kind of a bummer there that he wasn't able to capitalize.
Quick up and out by Koa Smith.
You got to learn from it.
Elijah, our heat leader, just going to take this wave, bring it on in, utilize this priority, and that's a little bit of a defense at the end to make sure that there's no waves being ridden by Koa or Finn McGill. Kalani ball doing the same thing. Countdown on the beach, and we have our first two advancements of the Hawaiian Pro, Elijah Gates and Kalani ball, advancing on into round number